Welcome back, everyone, to part 2 of our latest campaign here on Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. If you didn't see the first episode, there's a link in the description that'll take you back to that previous episode. We are the German Empire. You can see we're pretty even in numbers, at least among the bigger ships, but that does not tell the whole story, as his ships are significantly bigger than mine. His heavy cruisers are about the size of my battleships, and so we've got some work to do in that department. You can see the victory point situation. We do have 3 battleships, new ones on the way, and as many of you mentioned and suggested, and I was already planning to do this, we're definitely going to need some higher technology escort ships to be able to take those guys on, in addition to the new battleships, which are going to take the better part of a year, actually a little more than a year, to get into service. So we're going to go ahead and head back to ship design and take a look at light cruisers and see what we might be able to put together here. So we do have light cruiser 3 available to us. We can go up to 6,500 tons on our light cruisers. I like the idea of having a nice amount of speed on those. I'm okay with reducing the range. I'd prefer to keep the bulkheads as high as possible. So as always, I'm going to start by kind of maxing everything out, understanding that I'm going to have to back off on everything once I've done that. But I'd rather have a small number of high-tech, well-designed ships than have a whole bunch of ships that are kind of expendable. And you can see we're already over on weight, and I haven't even started placing anything on this thing yet. So we're definitely going to have some major issues there. And we're going to have a lot of scaling back to do. I think bulkheads is probably going to be, well, that didn't really change a whole lot. Speed may be an area. You can see dropping to 27 knots gets me under speed. So under weight. Speed's a big deal when it comes to weight. I'm going to add 1 funnel in the middle to start and kind of see where that puts us as far as engine efficiency. Not very good. We're going to need 3. And that only gets us to 88%, which might just have to be enough. All right, and then torpedo launchers. We only can get underwater torpedo tubes on these light cruisers. I definitely want to have those, and I want to have the 17-inch ones. And I don't like going down on range. How much weight does it add to add more torpedoes? Really very little. All right, so we're not too bad there. We do have to have some main guns on this thing. I'm going to go with 5s. And we could actually throw a whole lot of 5-inch guns on this thing. But I really don't intend to. Well, maybe. You can see we're now about 700 tons over, so we got a lot of work to do. That gets us down to about 300. So changing the steering from electro-hydro down to steam loses almost 100 tons. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Steam Basic actually weighs more. We can go down to standard bulkheads, and that gets us down a little more, but we're still about 100 tons overweight. I really would rather not, although only taking a little bit of speed off gets us under, so maybe that's the way to go. Let's go back up. Nah, we can't go to reinforced bulkheads. So we're pretty balanced as far as that goes. I'm going to put a little bit of aft belt on this thing. Although that didn't really change the weight offset at all. I thought maybe it would. Alright, so I think that's about what we're going to do here. Oh, I didn't even look at propellant or anything. I want to reduce the chances of flash fire, so I'm not going to change the propellant. I didn't do anything with reloading either. Yeah, there's a 20% ammo detonation chance increase if I do that. So I don't think I'm going to do that. I think we're just going to go with that. All right. So the Danzig will be in replacement for our old 1895 tech. It's twice the price, twice the size, 9.5 knots faster. Doesn't have the same amount of guns, but everything else is better. So let's go ahead and start by building 5 of those. We'll eventually build more, and we'll need to start replacing the older stuff. All right, so the British Empire lost 1 transport ship. We have 2 missions available to us. Boy, that one does not look good. There's a lot of transports there, but we've got some heavy firepower up against us. You can see the difference. 4,500 tons for us against 22,000 for him. Rather not fight that one. Here, though, we've got a heavy cruiser against a light cruiser. That's a fight I don't mind trying to take on. A one-on-one battle, though he'll certainly have the speed advantage on me. Maybe we'll get lucky. So if we put it on AI, somebody suggested that that's a good way to get them to head to exactly the right direction. For some reason, they actually know that as the AI better than we do. So we're going to let the AI try and hunt these guys down. We'll see what happens. All right, he's coming at me. This should be interesting. We want to stay out of torpedo range because that's his main threat on me. I've got 9-inch guns. I would imagine he'll probably have 6s or 7s. Let's go ahead and slow down. Try to get an advantage there and try to settle into a line of attack where we don't have to keep turning. Still just cadets in our crew, which certainly hurts. You can see the skills, how they hurt having a cadet crew, but hopefully eventually we'll get better trained. We are just outside what I expect to be his torpedo range. Yeah, he's got a 1 kilometer torpedo range, so we've got to stay outside of that. In fact, I'm going to start turning away a little bit. We've already taken a hit. I'm going to be aggressive with my torpedoes. If nothing else, it makes him maneuver differently, maybe. I don't think he fired. He didn't. Man, we cannot hit anything. We're 1 kilometer out, and we're not landing any hits. There's a hit. Thank you. All right, we're at 5% with the 9-inch guns, about 3% with the 4s. Once his smoke clears up, we should improve quite a bit. We caused a lot of flooding, but he'll get on top of that. I'm tempted to try and go in with the torpedoes, but I don't think I need to. I've got the firepower advantage. He's only got 6-inch guns. We'll just pummel him into oblivion. No sense in risking him firing one on me. Let's try HE shells. We did cause a little more flooding with that last shot. He's turning back toward me, so I gotta be careful here. I'm gonna keep him out of range. We're up to 11% chance to hit now. There we go. So we got a 14% own cruise speed bonus. We got reduction because of training, stability, tower, stuff like that. But I'll take 11% chance to hit. Hopefully we don't take too much damage in the process. I'm going to switch back over to auto and let them decide what to do here. Man, it's taking a little more effort than I thought it would. He's kind of pulling away from me now. Just got to stay right at the edge of that torpedo range. We just lost 20 crew from a 6-inch shell. Oh, that hurt. Our torpedoes are at 35% now, so it was mostly torpedo crew, apparently. We're going right in on the edge of his torpedo range, so I gotta be careful here. And now he's firing smoke again. Alright, I'm just gonna stay straight for now. Why aren't my 9s firing? Must not have a... No, they got a 10%. There we go. I cannot wait until I'm in like a 1930 scenario, because then we'll be landing a lot more hits. Of course, we won't get nearly this close. Alright, we're finally almost there. You can see the flooding now. We've got just 4 compartments we haven't flooded yet. If I can penetrate 1 or 2 more, I think we'll have him. We're getting awful close, though. Let's be careful here. Do not want to give him a chance to put a torpedo on me. We just put one at him. I think we got him too. Boom. Bye-bye. Oh, we hit the rear where he's already flooded. That didn't do any good at all. That was completely worthless. There we go. Nice hit. We got 2 more compartments. That'll do it. He's done. All right. Those are the kind of battles we like to have. One-on-ones where we have the advantage. Slowly but surely reduce him. We lost 24 crew, most of them in one shot. But that's 1 fewer ship out there to deal with. So at least for now, I'm going to drop my tech budget and my... well, just my tech budget. I'm going to raise up crew training a little bit because we've got a lot of really weak crews. And we got to raise transport capacity because we're at 94% and I really need to get the transport numbers up a little bit. In the meantime, there's this convoy mission that I would very much like to avoid if possible. We'll see if we can. I think we can. Both sides lost 1 transport ship. We are still quite a ways off from these new ships being done. We've got 13 months to go on the Gneisenau, the Wittelsbach, and the Hessen. We've got 10 months to go on the new light cruisers. So in the meantime, we just got to make do with what we have as best we can. We lost 3 transports at sea that time. So I'm thinking what I need to do is I'm going to need to start getting some additional ships out in some of these areas where I feel like they can better protect what's happening. A lot of my battleships are kind of sitting tight, like in Kiel, doesn't do me a lot of good to have them there, so I'm going to move some of that. Well, we don't have a lot of port capacity there. We do have a lot here and here. So let's do that. Let's move the Siegfried, the König Albert, I guess it is. Some of these smaller ships as well. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, we've got new technology. We now have the ability to build 12,500 ton heavy cruisers, which would be about double the displacement of our current heavy cruisers. Let me show you what I mean by that. Our current heavy cruisers are, well, not double. They're 9970. I was thinking of my battleships, which are about half the size of his. But so we do have some 9,970 ton heavy cruisers. We've actually got quite a few of them. And some of those actually were built pretty recently, but they're older technology because they're using designs from 1895. So I don't know if I want to start building any of those quite yet. But I guess we do have a positive monthly balance, so maybe we can go ahead and think about designing a few new heavy cruisers. Armored Cruiser 2 is the best that we've got available to us. The semi-armored cruiser looks like it only has a max of 6,500. We can actually only go up to 11,000 with the design that we have available to us. So that's really not even a big change. I think I'm going to hold off on that for now. So you get in your news feed over here information, and it looks like he's designing new torpedo boats, destroyers, and light cruisers, which is kind of interesting. Looking at my research, we are 6 months away from mechanical armor forging, which is going to reduce the ship construction time by 2.5% and reduce armor weight of all types. We're also 8 months away from a new Dreadnought hull design, which will give us small Dreadnought and Dreadnought 1. It'll make Battleship 1, 2, and 3 all obsolete. Turret mechanisms. We'll have improved reload mechanism research complete. If we focus on it, we could get it done in 4 months. So we're not going to build or design anything new for the time being. Let's see if we've got any battles that are worth fighting. This one's pretty interesting. We've got 6 torpedo boats against a light cruiser and 2 destroyers. That one I would like to get in there and give a go. Okay, we're going to get right into this one. Torpedoes have a range of 1.5 kilometers. So that's good. I'm going to get into... Actually, I'm going to keep a loose formation just because it might turn into a bit of a torpedo battle. And I'd rather not get myself in a situation where, because my ships are so close to each other, they end up not being able to dodge the torpedoes. We do also have guns on these torpedo boats, 4-inch guns, 2-inch guns. His destroyers are quite a bit bigger than my torpedo boats, obviously. We've only got 2 torpedoes on these boats, so I'm going to hold off on firing right away. I want to find out what his range is, because we might have a sweet spot where his range is only a mile or a kilometer, and it is, and mine's 1.5 kilometers. Now obviously I'm going to have to get in closer than that to try and hit these guys. I'm going to go to save just because, here's what I'm thinking. Even if I do fire one at him here and it misses, there's always the chance we could hit the other guy. Alright, here's got one coming at me, which I will easily dodge. How many has he got? He's got 4, so ideally... Oh, it's the tornado again. Where's the shark? Is the shark one of them? That would be great if we had Sharknado again. I'm actually, you know what? I'm still nervous that they're going to fire this thing in such a way that they don't have a chance to hit. So, detach. I don't want you going off in some other direction. He's already screwed it up. I'm going to get all these guys firing on this one here. This is where it might be interesting to fire a torpedo at him, because there's one right behind him. We actually got two going, but this guy's going in the other direction, so that's really not going to help all that much. Tornado, Vigo, and then the light cruiser Hobart. Again, obviously our tornadoes aren't even going to be close here. Our tornadoes. Our torpedoes! These guys are way back here because they're in a screening formation. So this is going to get kind of tricky because we're not dealing with big battleships that can't maneuver. These are guys that can easily avoid my torpedoes. Ooh, that was a big hit. Ah, we just put our last ones in the water. Actually, we put them both in the water at the same time, so we don't even have any other ones here. I'm going to put him on AI. I got to be really careful with these torpedoes. I only have so many. Oh, he's going to nail that torpedo boat. Ugh. As soon as I put him on AI, he was toast. I should have known it. He just fired another torpedo at that one, which means he won't be firing one at me. Oh, this is going to hurt. We're going to ram him, and it's probably going to cause me to sink. Put a torpedo into him. Come on, what are we waiting on, guys? There it goes. Got him. Well, the ramming caused much less damage than I expected. Boom. Don't think I caused enough damage to sink him, though. Alright, we need to get this guy out of the way. Get him going up this way. Send these guys over that way. Hopefully our guns can do the job. They did. Vigo's going down. Excellent. Extensive fire did him in. So we didn't flood him enough with the torpedoes, but we caused enough fires to do the trick. Okay. Tornado has been a thorn in my side since the beginning of this campaign. He keeps showing up everywhere. So we need to get after him. Alright, we're going to go right in between these guys here. Alright, he's only got one torpedo left because he just put one in the water. I forgot to turn his torpedoes off. Ah! This is going to be interesting. This is going to be really tight, but I think we're okay. And they put both of theirs in the water, so no second chances here. Gotta hope at least one of them hits. That one's not going to. This one is. We're gonna at least get one hit on the Hobart. Oh boy. We're gonna get nailed here by both of them. Didn't even see that happening, but we hit him with R2 as well. So we traded on that. Fires everywhere. TBS-6 is going down. But we also got the Tornado finally. So both of his destroyers are out. Now we go for the light cruiser. Who's got torpedoes still? This guy's got both of his. We've already hit the Hobart with one. You can see the flooding that's happened, but they're getting a handle on some of it. We got to hit them up front as best we can. He's got engine damage on 2 engines, so he's not really moving all that much. Alright, he's got a torpedo in the water. We'll easily miss that. And now he's turning. So let's come around. We're going to come right up alongside him. Ooh, that hurt. We got to be careful here. Two torpedoes. Let's make them count. They're in the water. Well, one of them is. And I think we're going to get them. Although the flooding's probably not going to be enough. Maybe fires will be. Because we're only going to cause flooding in those rear 2 compartments. There goes my second torpedo. It's going to... That one's going to miss. Okay. That's alright. I think with the damage of 2 torpedoes, having already hit him, we can do the trick now with guns the rest of the way. I do have 2 torpedoes left on the SB-12. Alright, I finally got S-12 headed in the right direction. We need to hit this thing up front, although it looks like maybe the flooding... no, he's getting on top of it. I thought for a minute there that maybe it was going into the other compartments, but it doesn't appear to be. He has still 1 torpedo left, so I guess we ought to be at least a little bit careful here. Depends on where that thing is. But he's not going anywhere. He's going 2.8 knots, so... Torpedoes in the water. He's got one in the water too. Let's try and turn around this thing as best we can. I think we're going to be okay. Just got to outrun it right now. Come on, baby. I think we're going to hit him exactly where we want him. Oh, that's going to be close. That was way closer than I wanted it to be. But no, he missed it. Darn it. Alright, we still have 1 left. Now we've got to be super careful. We're basically going to have to go up and park right next to him to make sure this doesn't miss. I didn't think he'd be able to move that much, but I guess I was wrong. Ugh. I basically got to do this manually because he keeps trying to steer a course where he can avoid the cruiser. So we're going to come straight at him. And then we'll turn. I want to make sure I've got the right angle here so I don't miss. I can see these guys screwing it up. See what I mean? There they go, turning again. And that should not miss. Let's hope we flood a couple of compartments up front. Yeah, we did. We got 2 of them. That might be enough. Especially if it spills over. Come on, baby. Give me one more compartment. Yeah, we got it. Beautiful. All right, that was a very successful run. We lost 95 men. Took out 434, but we sank 2 destroyers and a light cruiser. The victory points, obviously, much on our side. And that should get us a little closer to even on the victory points. 4,000 to 5,000. We have 4 torpedo boats that are undergoing repair. We've got the 3 battleships and 5 light cruisers currently being produced. Well, this is an interesting one. The enemy capital ships are vulnerable without escort ships, and now we can exploit this weakness. So May 1901, we've got a chance to take out another enemy battleship, and he is all by his lonesome self, but it is a big one. I can't even make a battleship that big. I don't have the capacity to. So the key thing here, of course, is finding him. So we're going to put the Cornell on AI. So we'll hunt straight toward him. And then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to sit back with these guys, and I'll send the destroyers in on a torpedo run, try to cripple them, and then we'll go from there. Well, sadly but not unexpectedly, he got away. That tends to happen when they're facing odds like that, but that's okay. Let's look at the financial situation as it exists right now. We're down to 92% on transport capacity. I've really got to get that up over 100, so we're going to invest every dollar we can into that right now. I've got a decent amount of naval funds, so I probably need to think about building some more ships. New turret mechanisms coming. Nothing that really screams get new ships designed, but I think I am probably due for a new heavy cruiser design. So let's look at the armored cruisers. 11,000 is the highest tonnage we can go. Actually, I want to go back and look at the existing design that I have, so we know what we're dealing with and what we can improve upon. So here's the existing design. And we could actually copy that if we wanted to start, but it's 21.9 knots. It's got fast torpedoes, 17-inch torpedoes, nickel steel armor. So there are quite a few things we could upgrade from that design. It does have maximum bulkheads, which is nice that we have that with our heavy cruisers. I still think we can improve on that. And we could actually take the existing design and copy it to our new design and then just make our changes from there, like extend it out, add a little speed to it, change some things around a little bit. So I'm going to remove some of these 4-inch guns that were in the casemates that have kind of a really poor arc of fire. Try to focus on things that give me a little more bang for my buck, so to speak. So we'll have less guns, but we'll have more weight that we can use for other things. We still got those are only 2-inch guns? They look way bigger than 2-inch guns. That's interesting. I'm going to take those off. Not a fan of a bunch of 2-inch guns everywhere. I'd rather have a smaller number of bigger guns. We can't fit 4s, though. At least not double 4s. We could do single 4s. How about single 5s? Nope. Single 4s is as big as we can go. But see, I'd rather have single 4s on either side than a bunch of those 2s like we had. So we're a little bit over on weight, but we're not too bad. I'm going to go to standard shells, see if that helps. I'm also looking at ways to improve our firepower. I think I'm going to go to ballistite propellant. I'm going to go to standard torpedoes. And then I think we'll stick with black powder. Looks like we're pretty well high technology on everything else. I think I like that. I think that'll work. We're pretty balanced. Not a lot of armor, but that's okay. I like it. Let's go with it. Let's get a couple... No. No, we didn't discard it. That's okay. Okay. So this is 11,000 tons. You can see the comparison. It's about 1,000 tons bigger than the old ones. A little more expensive. Quite a bit faster. And I think will do the job a little better for us. So let's go ahead and build a couple of those. I think we'll start building 3 of them to start. All right, I think we're going to wrap up this episode with this battle here, which is a good opportunity for us to hit some transports and also take out some smaller ships with an advantage here. So let's go ahead and dive into this battle. All right, we're going to see the transports right off the bat. Got 1 destroyer out over here. So let's go ahead and start sending them in. The other 3 are in a follow position behind the heavy cruiser. All right, what do we got coming in over here? It's probably a warship. It must be a torpedo boat. Interesting. So let's be careful here. He's got a 1.5 kilometer range on his too, so we got to be super careful of that. In fact, as he's the bigger threat right now, we're going to go after him first. And I say he. I know that ships are she's, but it's just something I do when I play a game. I always refer to the enemy as he, regardless of whether it's a ship or not. Got 6 torpedoes on this destroyer. Would love to see one of those land on him. What do we got? 9-inch shells? Yeah. A 9 hitting him in the right spot. The Flirt. I love the name. That's awesome. A 9 hitting in the right spot could take him out pretty much instantly. Sounds like some of his transports are colliding into each other. And we got a light cruiser coming straight at us here. So I'm going to go ahead and get my main guns firing on him. We put two torpedoes in the water, but I don't expect those to do a lot. It'll be way too easy for him to avoid those. Honestly surprised he hasn't put any in the water on me. But I'm going to go ahead and start turning now, just in case. Yep, he did. They're going to miss him out front. Dang, I almost hit him with one. That was really way closer than I expected it to be. He's taking a hit. Alright, back over here. Let's see what's happening. Alright. I'm going to start turning the whole convoy that way. I want to take this thing out as quick as I can. I can probably get another torpedo in the water if I turn this way. Of course, so can he. He's got 2 left. I've got 4 left. I was hoping I'd be able to get some in the water on this side, but I guess maybe it's the same tubes. Yeah, same tubes that fired from the other side are the ones. These aren't underwater tubes, so I have to wait for them to reload. Alright, I'm going to get my secondaries firing on some of these transports. All the flooding damage we did to Flirt has been undone, unfortunately. Alright, I'm going to put my main guns on the Flirt now. Such a weird name to be saying. We want to come out of this as unscathed as possible while trying to sink as much of the enemy as we can. We're trying to even the odds in terms of tonnage. Let's be careful here because he is getting dangerously close to torpedo range on my heavy cruiser. To the point where I'm going to start turning now because I'm sure he's going to put... Yeah, he did. Alright. We turned at just the right moment. I'm actually going to go straight here because I don't want to have a situation where I flip my back end into him. I also want to make sure that these guys don't accidentally run into those torpedoes. I think we're good. And it looks like we're going to use our heavy cruiser to try and take out the Flirt with a torpedo. And I think it's going to do the trick. Bye-bye. A 17-inch torpedo on a torpedo boat ought to be enough. Then again, I've been wrong before. Alright, I'm going to start turning over toward these transports now. Come on, a little more flooding, a little more flooding. Oh, he's getting on top of it, isn't he? Alright, another torpedo headed his way. This time from the Schwabe. But he's going to miss that one. Oh, nice. So we got a torpedo hit here, and we got some major hits happening on these other ships. It may be dangerous, but I'm going to put the destroyer on AI. We'll see what happens. Alright, let's finish off this torpedo boat, even though he has no torpedoes left and he's really not much of a threat. Try to finish him off. Beautiful. I think we might have caused enough flooding now. I'm going to switch my secondaries over. Oh yeah, there we go. Flash fire, big time. Flirt just sank. These two are going into each other. We just put another torpedo into that guy, even though he was already going down. Yeah, let's try and take out the light cruiser now. He becomes the priority at this point. Because we can always go back and finish off the remaining transports. We'll have a nice window here for going after them as soon as the smoke wears off. It's giving me the mission accomplished, but that's only because I sank another one of the transports. That really doesn't mean a whole lot. In this instance, I will consider the mission accomplished when everything is sunk. And that includes this light cruiser, who's now out of smoke, so this is our chance to try and land some hits on him. Even though we've only got a 6% chance right now. Let's try to go straight for a little while. Let's see if that number goes up a little bit. Trying to go straight so we can cut out this hit we're taking to maneuver. There we go. He's going to come into my torpedo range here in a minute. Of course, that also means I'm coming into his. %14 chance to hit now. I'll switch back over to HE. Get some fires going. Ah! I hate when you're that close and you miss. He does have another destroyer out there that I hadn't seen yet, the Munster, that we're going to have to deal with at some point. Alright, looks like he's going to turn around. So maybe this is our chance right here. Let's deal with this guy, and then we got to go deal with the destroyer and the rest of the transports. I want to get a torpedo at him, if I can. I want to turn right toward him. Keeping in mind he has the torpedoes as well. And I know he's about to get him in the water. Alright, I'm going to cut hard here. Yep, just in time. Because here come the torpedoes. Now I can get one at him. Hopefully. Although this angle's terrible for it. There's a nice hit, though. And a torpedo in the water that I think he's going to avoid easily. Come on, guys. Man, I hate these. Terrible accuracy early days. Just feel like you're chasing them forever and just getting nowhere. Alright, meanwhile, Munster's coming back in, so we're going to start getting our secondaries firing on them while we continue to pursue the fleeing Ajax. Who's only going, well, now he's up to 13.6 knots. I was going to say he was only going about 10 knots a minute ago. So they're getting their engines repaired. So maybe we have to change our focus to this destroyer for now. We'll continue pursuing the light cruiser, but we'll go for the easier target for the time being. Looks like we're going to take them out pretty quick. Got in too close. You have flown too close to the sun, Icarus. Come on. It's a frustratingly slow process. Alright, I think we finally got Munster. Oh, it was dropping so fast. He went from like 40% all the way down to 3% on float. How? How did that happen? Now we gotta hit him again. Need to somehow puncture one of these last 3 compartments before he gets on top of the flooding. I just can't seem to do it, and Ajax is getting away. So frustrating. Alright, you go take him out. Okay, we finally landed enough 4-inch shells on the Munster to sink them. So now it's all about chasing the Ajax. I think we're far enough away now from the transports that we may not even get back to be able to find them, but I'll certainly try once this is over. They're going 13.6 knots, but if we can land a couple of hits and maybe disable one of those engines and slow them down, we can catch up. Okay, our opportunity to finish this off is finally upon us. We've caused enough damage now to get Ajax down to just 9 knots. I've separated out my light cruisers from my heavy, which is going to give me a chance now to come up alongside with the light cruiser. And I'm going to turn off the torpedoes until we can come in at point blank range and finish this guy off. If he doesn't go down from damage from the guns first, which is quite possible at the moment. Either way, as soon as we get up alongside him, we'll release a couple of torpedoes and finish the job. Hopefully they'll hit up front where we need the flooding. Oh, we forgot that he's still got one. Oh, that hurts. I was not even thinking about that. Detach. No, no, no. Ah. That's alright, we got you. You had your fun. There we go. So it's actually going to end the battle automatically. I don't even get a choice on going back to hunt down the transports. So some medium damage there, but 46 crew losses to 749 for the British. Big victory point edge. Sank 5 enemy ships, including 2 transports. So a very, very good way to round out this episode. That now puts us just slightly behind on victory points, but pretty darn close. We're going to be behind on our monthly balance for a few months while we repair those 3 cruisers. And here's the situation now with our fleet as far as repairing. So you've got the cruisers that are repairing, and then we've got 7 months until our 3 battleships, 5 months on the light cruisers, 14 months on the heavy cruisers. So a whole lot of good stuff coming our way. And when those ones get into service, we may try to retire a couple of the older ones that we've got, or at least move some more into in-being so we're not spending as much on them. Let me know your thoughts. Use the comment section below. We'll be back again real soon with another episode. Thanks for watching.